Hello and welcome back to the Guns and Glory Show. It is December 17th, 2024. Now, I got this airplane on November 9th, and it isn't airworthy yet. I'd like to give everybody a little recap as to what I've had to go through to get it this far. I bought the Walk Snail Avatar L goggles because they're the cheapest ones with the best picture. Forgot what company I bought it from, but they got my address wrong, and it wound up getting returned and refunded. I'm like, great, we got to start over. I'd been talking to people about this, and they said about how to make it work, and they said you should be going with DJI for your goggles and your air unit. Well, the air unit's the camera. I had already ordered from CADX, the company CADDX. They're yellow and black on their website. I ordered the HD camera from Walk Snail and their 2-axis gimbal. Well, when it showed up, I noticed right away that the gimbal was wrong. Some false advertising going on there. That gimbal doesn't look left and right or up and down. It looks up and down and it rolls left and right like a curious dog. So I return it with the camera because it couldn't get the camera to work with the system. Couldn't get any answers on it. The day I go to return it, I'm in the UPS parking lot about to leave. I get the email telling me what I need to do to get it to work. I'm like, you all are late. So I go back to the video where I first saw this and got inspired by it in my YouTube history. There's a company called Motion Sick that did the video, and they make the gimbal and the air unit, and they sell the head tracker. I'm like, all right, bet. So I order all that. I could not be any happier with all of it or their customer care. It's absolutely top-notch. Answer all my questions and very quickly. So, meanwhile, I order the DJI O3 air unit and the Goggles O3, the new one, the Goggles 3. Well, I couldn't find it anywhere new, so I bought a used one. Tried to do the firmware update on the goggles and it wouldn't work. Same thing with the air unit, although I bought them from a different place. What are the odds? So I called DJI customer care, another top-notch company. I can't say enough for them. They spent about an hour with me trying to figure this out. Oh, it was 2 hours. The transmitter was an hour. That was yesterday. So I'm on their customer care for 2 hours. They're like, well, send them both back. We'll send you a shipping label. It won't cost you anything. And we'll get it working for you. I'm like, cool. Well, they give me an email. They're like, well, the air unit is damaged. I said, yeah, because I had to cut the wires to get it to work with the fan. So they wanted $23 to fix that. I'm like, okay, cool. No problem. Didn't think that anything unreasonable about that at all. Well, I got an email this morning. The air unit will be here tomorrow. I'm like, cool, that was fast. And another email that said that the goggles were fine. I'm like, no, they weren't. Customer care would have fixed that for us. He would have figured that out. So they're going to send them back to me. I said, no, look, if those come back, I'll try to bind them with the air unit. If I don't have a picture on the goggles, I'm putting them both in the box. I'm going to send them back to you. When they get back here, I'm going to repeat that process. I'm going to try to bind them if you don't do that for me. And if they don't work, I'm going to return them as often as I have to. I'm at the end of my rope with it. So, meanwhile, the head tracker, it isn't compatible with the transmitter that came with this airplane. So I go back to Motion Sick, watch the video again, to find out what transmitter he's using. I got a FR Sky or Fur Sky or Frisky X20S. I'm like, I'm going to buy the same unit he's using so that, because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm learning, trying to figure this whole thing out. If I have a question about it, he'll probably be able to answer it. At least I know it's compatible. So I get everything working. And this is the most amazing piece of technology, but it's also amazingly frustrating because it's very complicated. There's a steep learning curve on it. It'll do anything you want it to do. I got my ailerons to act as spoilerons and as flaps. It'll also say like flaps down or throttle cut whatever you want it to. Well, I get everything working, and I go to do the firmware update, and I turned into a brick. It's like, oh no, what do I do? So I grab it, the computer, I take it into town where I can get a signal. It turns out you need internet to update the firmware, even if you've downloaded this stuff to put in it like I did. Well, I send them an email. They got right back with me immediately. And I spent an hour on the phone with this guy who was extremely knowledgeable. I don't know if I want to say his name, but anyway, he knew what he was doing. He got it to work. Only now, I can't get it. It doesn't say like flaps down, flaps up anymore. My volume was set here, and now it's not because they changed all the menus. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, I don't know how to set this stuff up anymore, so I'm going to go back to town in about 5 minutes here. Give him a call back because he was supposed to help me get the picture of the airplane on the transmitter. Then I'll have to tell him about these other problems, and hopefully we can get it resolved. That's where we're at. I'm going to keep going, only because I don't quit, but it's been tempting to kind of put this whole thing in the fire bin. Till the next one, take it easy.